You're listening to Bro Down Podcast all fucking day. Oh, yeah.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Bro Down Podcast. I'm Andy Smith.
And I'm Tim Fulton, and this is Fight Fan Weekly.
Fight Fan Weekly.
Fight Fan Weekly. This is a little bit of a two-parter. We've been giving you guys some good fucking news lately, so we're going to start off with that.
Yes, we are.
Because why not? Some good shit.
Uh-huh.
So, first and foremost, Andy, you don't mind if I go first, do you?
No, why not?
Good, so shut the fuck up.
All right, go ahead.
So in the world of good news, I think we talked about this a little bit before, but baseball is unofficially coming back.
Yeah. Promises.
Promises. They're talking about early to mid-July. People are getting super excited about it. Dude, I'm sorry, I'm distracted. My neighbor's house is for sale, and the amount of cars that drive by and stare at my property is absolutely mind-boggling.
Are they just like, ooh, do we want to live next to him?
Probably. My yard's a fucking disaster. All right, back to it. So baseball is coming back early to mid-July. They're going to do 80 games, it sounds like, and they're completely redoing everything. Instead of there being 2 divisions, there's going to be 3 divisions. Everyone's going to be closer to home, so there's less traveling involved. And, oh, I forgot the best part.
No baseball.
The managers told the players, hey, guys, put down the bongs and pick up the bats because you're coming back soon. That's a quote. That happened.
Put down the bongs and pick up the bats.
Yeah.
Is baseball like notorious potheads or something?
No, but I guess they are now. Dude, this is probably the first spring that they haven't worked since since middle school.
What
for
so
all these players.
So what? There's 3 divisions now? How's that work?
I don't know, dude. I don't even care about baseball.
It's crazy when like you cut your season down by half, but you still have to play 80 games.
80 games. That's ridiculous.
They played almost as many games as kids have to go to school a year. That's crazy.
Dude, well, half of the sport is them standing in a field waiting.
Yeah, it's easy to shit on baseball from like a talking shit on a point of view, like totally negating all like the skill involved in it. But there is a lot of waiting around.
There is a lot of waiting around. And you know what? I don't have any hand-eye coordination. All these guys are better than me. Blah, 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 blah. I'm sitting from my couch. So anyway,
but you're still punching up, so it's okay.
Yeah, what can you say? So if you like baseball, there's some good news for you. If you don't like baseball, well, at least it's a little sign of normalcy. People are adapting. We're changing. We're evolving. And we're getting used to the new way of life in a way that will make a little bit more sense to us. All right, I'm handing it off. Andy, what is your good news? You said you had one today.
I do. I actually have a fucking pretty good one, too. So my parents up in Vermont sent me this story. It was actually their next door neighbor. Their next door neighbor, who they're very good friends with. I grew up with them, me and my brother, when we were kids going up there. And the husband was telling my dad that his wife works at this store over in this town called Dorset.
Okay.
And they got a phone call from a guy, a customer, an older gentleman that always goes in there. And he called up and he asked for the names of all the people that were working at the store. So they're like, okay, like they gave him the names of all the employees at the store. And then 20 minutes later, the guy shows up and he wrote out, was it 10 or however many people that were working there? I think there were 10 or 11 people. He wrote everyone a check for $1,000.
Holy shit.
And just like, because he goes to that store, I guess, like he frequents the store. It's just like a general store. It's up in Vermont. So like, it's not like down here, like the store, they still have like a lot of like mom and pop type of stores up there.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. It's not like a giant kind of store, but he goes there all the time. And I guess he just wanted to recognize them as being there and working and help them out. And I guess the guy's like very well off. He's apparently like a multimillionaire who's widowed. So he just decided to give everybody that worked at, I guess, his favorite store $1,000 to help him out.
That is a dope ass story because that guy did not need to do that whatsoever.
No.
And you know what? $1,000 doesn't sound like it, but it goes a long way for a lot of people.
Well,
Like
it's
that.
also the where it comes from. Like the fact of that's how you got the $1,000. I mean, it's hard not to, kind of smile at that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it gives you a sense of pride. Like, yeah, it's not your normal 9 to 5 salary, but you worked for it. Like, if that
Well,
makes
it's just a guy like just recognizing like he's giving it to you because times are tough and he appreciates what you're doing and all this stuff and it's just it's almost like that. What's that the term like restoring faith in humanity type of a thing?
Yeah, yeah. I like that story. That was a good one, dude.
Yeah. So that was a pretty neat little story that they had up there. And again, very compared to Jersey, like very small towns and everything like that. So it's definitely like a big like a pretty cool thing for up there, especially.
I wish he would come into my accounting practice. I could use
Hey, buddy.
could use $1,000 right about now.
So that's it for the some good shit. Next week we'll have some more stories for you on that, but some more good shit on the last one we have here is that the UFC is back. Okay, I know we just did the fight recap, but the UFC is back and they are full force. We had a fight Saturday, UFC 249. We're having one this Wednesday, and then we're having another one on Saturday. So because we've been kind of out of the game for a little bit, these kind of crept up on us because we weren't sure if any of them were going or how everything's going to be working out. But apparently they're just trying to get everybody to start fighting when there's no other sports going on, and they want to get everybody paid. So
Yeah, man, we went from having no sports whatsoever to, oh dear Jesus, everyone is just fighting.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
starting to imagine that Dana White's Fight Island is just going to be like 10 things going on at the same time. People just throwing fists.
it's just 10 cages, no audience, nothing. Just drag them out next.
That's where the fighters sleep in various cages, and you just get to enter or leave with them.
They have a trough where meat is dumped, raw meat. Yeah.
McGregor doesn't want to be fed. McGregor wants to hunt. All right. So yeah, this Saturday we have who do we have? We have Anthony Smith face or not Saturday, Wednesday,
Wednesday.
which is actually tonight by the time that this podcast airs.
Mm.
Anthony Smith is going to be facing Glover Teixeira. I love both of these guys, although I can't remember last time I've seen either one of them fight.
Yeah, Anthony Smith, young up and coming guy, fought John Jones. Did way better than everyone thought he was going to, based on his record and past experience.
Yeah.
Glover Teixeira also fought John Jones. Glover's one of those guys who used to be very, very good back in the day, and his experience and the fact that he's still a murderer can carries him through a lot of the fights now. But he is a little long in the tooth. He's been around for a while, lost some of his steam. So I think Anthony might just bring a little bit too much for him in this. I think he's, physically going to be a lot bigger and stronger. And, I think that Glover might just be a little bit too out of his prime to handle Anthony. And Anthony's used to fighting old vets. They call him the legend killer. So, I think it's going to be a long night for Glover, unfortunately, because I like Glover.
You know what? I saw a little bit of a preview into this, and I felt bad because they kept on putting Anthony as like the legend killer, like one guy after another that he put in his place, blah 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 blah. And they went to Glover, and they were like, "He's really nice when he catches your back sometimes." And I'm just like, "Ooh, those previews were not equal. They are not. They are making it like they are predicting this already themselves." Yeah, I'm kind of in your boat about that. I've seen Teixeira is a son of a bitch though. He is.
Oh, he's a fighting dude. The guy hits fucking hard as shit. But
Yeah.
I just think that, because he's older, comes from, kind of the old school stuff, and, Anthony's part of the new school. I just think that youth is on Anthony's side. Physical attributes are on Anthony's side. The fact that he went the 5 rounds with Jones and actually had a good outing, compared to most people against Jones, he learned a lot from that fight. And I just think that it's more his time right now. I just see Anthony coming out and and getting the victory over Glover. I think Glover, always like to see him fight. Always nice to see him get a win. But not saying he can't catch him or he can't come out with the victory. But just gut feeling, I think Anthony's going to be a little too much for him.
I actually agree with you on this one. I think I'm going to go with Anthony as well. He seems to be on, with the exception of John Jones, he seems to be on a little bit of a kick. You're right. It's a 31-year-old guy versus a 40-year-old guy. That's a huge difference. He's in better shape. He has a lot going for him there.
Yeah. Plus, Glover's had a lot of injuries as well. So
yeah, that's what happens when you fight in the UFC for all these years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even when you don't, age gives you injuries.
That's true. I stubbed my toe this morning. So this Saturday UFC Fight Night, we're going to have Alistair Overeem versus Walt Harris. The big boys are at it again.
Yeah, so this one's very interesting.
Just for the record, if Overeem loses part of his lip, I quit. I can't do that twice, dude. Can't do it twice.
Yeah, so the interesting part with this one is that this is the first fight back from Walt Harris losing his daughter.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that fight or that story about his daughter being kidnapped and murdered?
I remember that. We covered that back in last summer.
Yeah. Yes.
It was like early fall, I think.
Yeah, so Walt hasn't been in
justifiably.
Hasn't fought since then. So his last fight was in July of 2019, and that's around when that happened.
Yeah,
he knocked out Alexei Oleinik in 12 seconds, and Alexei just beat Verdum. So he's on. I don't know how many fight win streak is he on, but he's on. The last three opponents he's had is Arlovsky, Spivak, and Oleinik. So he's no joke, right? Big dude. Hits pretty hard, but he's going against Alistair Demolition Man Overeem. So Overeem is just I've kind of given up on trying to fucking predict his fights, man, because
he'll do amazing for about 4.5 rounds, and then he'll just start like dancing around with his arms up in the air and get nailed.
The thing is that like he's such a technical striker, right? He's so good at striking that he's a nightmare in that regard, and he's got credible takedown defense, and he is a fucking underrated grappling game as well. Fucking really good guillotine and just a scary guy. But his Achilles heel is that he's taken so much damage that he not only can he not take a shot like he used to, never really was known for his chin to begin with, but not only that, he has a very, very not good poker face. Like when he gets hit or hurt, he's hurt. And if he gets on his back, he's almost always getting knocked out, it seems now. If you get on top of him on his back and you hit him with one or two decent shots, he's going out. But, just look at, like, he never gets an easy fight. Like, he fought Verdum in 2017. He won against Verdum. That was after, when Verdum was kind of like right after he lost the belt.
Yeah.
Almost got decapitated by Francis Ngannou. Then he lost by KO from Curtis Blades. Then he won against Pavlovich. Then he won against Alexei Oleinik by knocking him out. And then he lost against Rosenstruck his last fight. But again, like Rosenstruck fight, he was winning the whole thing.
Loss against Rosenstruck is a little bit of an overreach, is the point.
Yeah.
Because he, by all intents and purposes, should have won that match. With the exception of the last 5 seconds, depending on how you lean.
But what I'm saying is it's not like he was getting blown out of the water or outgunned. Like his whole thing is like he can't get caught. And because he can't get caught, he's not really able to use his striking to its fullest potential because he has to throw punches and kicks one at a time or two at a time. Because if he starts throwing combinations, it leaves him open and susceptible to counters, and he doesn't want to risk that. So you'll see him like over exaggerate all this head movement because he knows that he can't get hit. So when you're going against a guy like Walt Harris, I have no idea what the fuck's going on with this. I couldn't guess. I don't know. I can't talk about Overeem anymore. I can't fucking get. I can't bet on his fights. I can't guess his fights. I don't know what is going to happen because he has the skill and the power and whatever to win every fight he goes into.
But he doesn't.
But also, if he gets knocked out, you're like, fucking figures. Like, it's so weird. It's so weird.
You sound like a disappointed parent.
Yeah, it's so weird. Yeah.
Like, why do you do this? So I'm gonna go with Walt Harris on this one.
Yeah.
The guy had a long stretch out. We will see if that affects his game at all. But the way I'm seeing it, he has the power behind his arm. He has the technical capability. Not that Overeem doesn't, but like you said, if he gets caught even once, it's game over. There's a long match, so I'm giving it to Harris.
Yeah. I also think that given the recent events that happened, he's going to be looking to come in here and make a statement.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah. So, all right. Well, that's all we're going over with for this one. So any final thoughts on this, Mr. Fulton?
No, I think I am all good. Why don't you talk us out, Andrew?
All right. Well, be sure to like and subscribe. Click the bell down below. Leave your comments. What did you say before last time? What was the phrase you said about people arguing? Something.
Flame war.
What is it?
Flame war.
Claymore?
Flame war.
Oh, flame war.
Kind of like me, but a war.
Okay. I was trying to think of it and I'm like, what the fuck is a flame war? I didn't know what the fuck it meant. Go to Bro Down Pro for all your Bro Down Bro gear. I think that's about it. We'll catch you guys next time.
See you guys.
You're listening to Bro Down Podcast all fucking day.